This is an update regarding Utah's 2024 gubernatorial election. There were a number of important documents that Phil Lyman and I both wanted to view before the election. We did a grammar request for them. We went to court for these documents, but they were always denied to us. It wasn't until a couple of weeks ago, through what I would consider divine intervention, that we were able to get access to view these documents. It was very telling, the information we learned from them. It confirmed a lot of our suspicions and our concerns, and it has information that we gleaned from there that we believe the public needs to know. So I'm going to quickly go through those. The first document is Senator Don Ipson's nominating petition packets. So Senator Ipson used the same company that Spencer Cox used, and there was concerns because Ipson's packets were under a criminal investigation because there were so many forgeries that were submitted. So we wondered if the same standard was being applied to Ipson's packets that were being verified by the Washington County Clerk as Spencer Cox's that were being verified by Davis County Clerk. Well, we found out that no, the same standard did not apply. So there were a number of forgeries that were thrown out from Don Ipson's packet in Washington County, so many that he did not qualify for to get enough signatures to get on the ballot. And so they were thrown out, but those same signatures were counted as good for Spencer Cox in Davis County. So that's a big concern. Another thing is that there was someone who was charged with submitting forgeries for Don Ipson, who admitted to the investigator that he also forged for Spencer Cox, but he was never charged for any of those signatures, those forgeries. The second thing is that there was an audit that was conducted by the State Auditor's Office. So we know of the first one that was a statistical analysis done in September 2024 under John Dougall's supervision. But what was not public was that there was a second audit that was conducted. So Phil Lyman had asked for an audit done by outside CPA companies, and he's a CPA, he knows that's the right process to go through. And there actually was one. It was conducted by two outside CPA firms that went through every single signature that had been submitted to Davis County Clerk. And they found that there were over 10,000 of those signatures that were fraudulent, and they were counted as good signatures. And that affected most of the candidates who were the statewide candidates. Some of them had over 1,000 signatures that should not have been counted as good, that were fraudulent ones that they were given credit for. And we believe that Spencer Cox was one of those that had a huge number of fraudulent signatures that were counted as good. So that's a big problem that we found out from that second audit. Also, we found out that there were, so when the circulators took the packet and they got signatures that were supposed to go to one candidate, that the clerk at Davis County had taken full packets and given them credit to another candidate, inflating their numbers. So big problems. We found out both of those things from that audit. And I mean, is that the reason why it was concealed from the public this whole time? John Dougall never made it public. It wasn't until Tina Cannon, the new state auditor, was asked to testify about it in the GovOps committee in June of 25 that we got any information about this audit. Okay, now the third document is the AG report. We suspected that there was a criminal investigation going on into Spencer Cox's packets. We asked about it. Michael Clara was given information where he actually had the business card of the investigator. He knew the case number. He knew the witnesses. He knew all that information. He did a grammar request to the Attorney General's office, and they said, nope, we can't find any information about an investigation. And then he appealed it. So first it went to Lonnie Pearson. He denied it. Then it went to Dan Burton. He also denied it, doubled down. Can't find anything about an investigation into Spencer Cox's signature packets. And so then he took it to court. Well, he tried to do a state records committee. They refused to even schedule him for a hearing at a state records committee. So he went to the court, and the Attorney General sent in information saying they didn't have any information about this investigation and denied it. And so the court found in favor of them and ruled against Michael at the summary judgment. So now we know that there is, in fact, an investigation because a whistleblower gave us this very same document that Michael Clara went to court asking about. We now have that because a whistleblower gave that to Michael. And it confirmed that, yes, there was an investigation. into Spencer Cox's nominating petition packets. It started in April of 2024 primary, and it didn't conclude until March of 2025. Also, from that, we learned that at least 30% of the signatures that were turned in for Don Ipson were fraudulent, and at least 18 of Cox's petitions were also investigated for fraud. Every one of those 18 packets, each of them had 50 signatures in them, so it was a total of 900 signatures that were investigated for fraud for Spencer Cox's packets. So that was a huge problem. They denied this investigation this whole time, but now we have evidence that yes, and there was in fact an investigation. And one more thing too from that, we did learn that this Attorney General report indicated that the Lieutenant Governor had packets returned to her, and actually her office verified some of her very own packets. So here she is going to publicly saying that she's going to have an independent advisor, Greg Bell, was going to handle any concerns. He never did anything, and at the same and not only that, she was actually verifying her own packets. So lots of problems, and meanwhile, we're getting her comments saying that we should doubt the doubters, and that Phil is trying to steal an election while all of this is happening underground, that this investigation is being hidden. So we're at the point now, grateful for these people who are helping darkness come to light, because things cannot stay in the dark any longer. And we have uncovered a lot, and there has to be an accountability. We have to have clean elections in Utah. We have to be able to trust our systems and to trust our election process. And this last cycle has given us no reason to trust the system. And Utah deserves better. We deserve to have elections we can trust. And so we will continue to expose this corruption, and we expect to have changes here in the state of Utah. And we expect to have some accountability.